So welcome to Off the Path podcast.
Welcome.
How you feeling about it, Nathan?
I am buzzing, mate. I'm
Yeah?
so excited.
It's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming.
How long has it been?
Close to a year. It's been in the works for a year.
I feel like you came to me about a year ago and said, I think we should do a podcast.
Like every generic.
Like every, best friend kind of duo.
Yeah. Legends.
Legends.
Yeah, 100%. But I say it's been in the works. 6 months.
Yeah, we've been brainstorming it about 6 months.
Um.
So it's been in the works for about, I'd say 6 months.
Yeah.
We started telling people probably, about 6 months ago that we were thinking about doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, we said our first recording date was going to be the 1st of June.
Yeah.
And now the date is the 4th of August?
5th.
The 5th?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, crazy. We've just been not procrastinating.
No, we've been busy.
We've been
You've got a
busy.
job.
I've started a new job.
Yeah.
Finished uni. And yeah, just procrastinating.
It's not like we haven't been actively trying. We've
No.
tried to make dates and it just hasn't happened.
No, but we like you said, we've been brainstorming for a good while.
Yeah.
But now this is it.
This is it, and we're starting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
So yeah, speaking of, what does off the path mean to you, Brad?
Off the path means to me, I think it's hard to explain in a way, because I think everyone's life is so different. Like me and you, we're very different people. We get along well together, but we are very different people. Mm-hmm. And I think everyone's path is different. So it's the whole narrative of seeing how other people are experiencing things, like living life through your 20s. How you have almost like you have to find someone, get married, have kids. That's kind of the narrative, like get a house. But living in your 20s, we kind of find it's very different from that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, we're 22. I wouldn't say the first 2 years of our 20s have been easy on my part. I wouldn't say I've lived that 20s experience.
No.
And what does that 20s experience mean? So I think in a way, the off the path is it's how we navigate life and how we are showing how we're doing it. Because not everyone has the same trajectory and the same path. And I think the whole point is that we all need to embrace the fact that we're all different and the fact that everyone wants different things and everyone wants different things at different times.
Yeah.
That's how I would describe off the path.
And to add on that, it's like we're living our 20s in a different way, but in hindsight, quite similar.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to learn.
We do.
Different people.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued about how everyone wants to live in their 20s.
Yeah.
Everybody takes their own path, and that's what this is about. It's okay to be in your own path, and that, like, life can go on.
Yeah. The traditional norms aren't exactly what you have to follow.
No.
And I think that's important to know at our age, because especially as, not that we want this to be a mental wellness or a mental health podcast. That's not what we're exactly gunning for.
No.
But we are going to show our experience of things, because I feel like as guys it's not spoken about enough, in my personal opinion.
Yep.
And I think it's something that I think it'd be very important for us to touch on, because
totally.
It's very key in all of our lives. And everyone experiences things differently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, having someone talk about their experience might make others think there's not as much pressure on what they're doing, kind of thing.
Couldn't agree more.
So that's it for me.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I mean, the original name of our podcast when we first started this was Navigating Through Your 20s.
Yeah, we thought it was a bit boring though.
It's a bit boring. It's a bit not generic, but that's like what we're trying to understand, is just for ourselves how to navigate through our 20s. We're 22. We're not even halfway there. Not even near halfway there.
No, we're not. We're still in our early 20s. Thank fuck. But
yeah, but we've got so much to learn. We've got so
We
much
do.
to navigate through, and it's interesting just seeing everybody else's and learning from it.
Yeah.
I just feel like obviously we're both very
Yeah.
in different stages of our lives in our 20s.
Yeah. I mean, I only just started uni last year.
And Brad's just started uni last year. I've just finished uni, started a new job.
Yeah.
And we're just navigating it differently.
We are.
And
We are. And it's essentially, I don't know, for me, I found it a very tough decision to decide to go to uni so late on, when I knew that, I'd be starting first year and it was the same year you were graduating.
Yeah.
And seeing everyone else graduating around me, like Nick was doing the masters. Do I need to say Nick, my twin, or do I just say Nick?
Nick, my twin.
Like,
Yeah, that can stay in because Nick is Brad's twin.
yeah, but I don't know if I need to introduce like side characters of my life because not everyone listening might not know everyone. Most of the people listening probably do.
Yeah. Well, we were planning a lot of episodes, and we've got whole episodes of families and going like through our uni experiences, how I've just finished mine, graduated, and Brad's just started his. So
Yeah.
if you don't know who Nick is, it's Brad's twin,
Who's currently doing a masters.
and absolutely tearing it up.
Absolutely killing it, crushing it. But that for me was a very difficult thing because I thought, wow, am I so far behind in life?
Mm.
When realistically I'm not, because I did a 3-year apprenticeship and things like that. Like, I'm going to come out of uni with experience that I needed.
Yeah.
And I would be ahead of people in that sense. But it's still, it was a difficult thing to process, really.
Mm.
But I made the right decision, ultimately.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with where I am, and I feel like, you know, life is on an upward path in that sense.
Off the path.
Yeah.
On the upward path. Yeah. Maybe we should change our name. Yeah.
So how have you found life after uni? Because obviously you've been, what was it, 3 months? When did you graduate?
I graduated
Well, when did you
3 weeks
finish?
ago.
When did you finish uni? Sorry.
I finished uni over 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And my final thing was my dissertation, which was handed in 2 nights before.
When did you start it?
3 nights before. No, it was tough. It was a long stint of a dissertation, but we're here now. We're graduated. Yeah, I mean it was tough. I can't say I enjoyed it. Can't say I enjoyed writing it. I'm not a writer. Clearly not a speaker, but hopefully I can become more of a speaker. I would say I'm more of a people person and more of an interactive rather than.
Yeah, you're much more of a in-person kind of. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense because you are in person with me.
Yeah.
But
I'd much rather have an hour-long presentation about my life rather than a dissertation trying to write scientifically because I mean I'm here now, graduate, but it wasn't for me. It's not my cup of tea. But yeah, I'm obviously graduated. I'm done. I'm happy to be done. I'm in full-time work, which I'm really enjoying. I'm in a new industry, in events, in sport.
Which is your bag, really.
Which is my bag.
It is. You like people.
Yeah.
You like talking to people. You like doing things.
Yeah, like working in a team.
You like working in a team, and then you're obviously a very sporty person.
Yeah.
So it is your bag.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm wanting to pursue it in whatever way. And again, that can be touched on in many ways. But yeah, I mean, as soon as uni was done, it was like, right, we have so much time for the podcast. And then, yeah, in comes the job and
Life catches up.
life catches up. But we're going to make it a thing.
We are?
Once a week. That's the plan, team.
I guess one thing for us as well that we kind of touched on with this podcast, we found it was an excuse for us to see each other every week.
Yeah.
Because like we find life's busy.
Life is
it's
busy.
hard to make time for yourself or your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we found that through people we know and other people. It's hard to make time to see people and things like that. It's just life catches up and it's hard. So we kind of thought that this would be a good way to see each other every week and just sit down and chat for an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Yeah, with 30 minutes of footage.
Yeah, most of it is going to be outtakes, but it's just a way to just chat and have and it's also a good way to record these conversations for when we're older or whatever. It's just a nice thing to look back on.
To laugh at ourselves or to
take the piss out of your voice.
Yeah, no. But also, like, there's a famous podcaster once said, it's just whoever invented podcasting is a genius because it means you can actually have a conversation.
Yeah. Who said that?
I don't know. But it was like a moment of like, oh, has he just discovered what a conversation is? Oh no, maybe I said the quote wrong.
Of course you did.
Next episode, I'll get the quote up.
You always get these fucking things wrong. It's like your polar bear pickup line. You get it wrong every time.
I should have introduced the podcast with that.
Why don't you do it now? Let's redo it. Please get it right.
Oh, excuse me. Do you know how much a polar bear weighs?
No. How much does a polar bear weigh?
I heard it's enough to break the ice. Anyway, I don't know if I've mentioned, my name is Nathan James. It's so nice to be here and to be starting this. What was your name?
My name's Brad. Brad Port.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that is the worst pickup line going.
And has it introduced us?
It has introduced us, but it is awful. Please don't ever try using it. You get it wrong every single time.
Yeah. But it creates a smile. It creates instruction. And success, really.
Okay. I rate it.
Yeah. So this is the first episode.
This is the first episode, yes.
We've not got an episode title as such. It's more of just an introduction.
It's just the intro, isn't it?
We're going to try and kind of come up with a topic as such to talk about each episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan. We've got loads planned. Some are deep.
Yeah, which we're probably not going to touch on.
For a good few weeks.
Yeah. Want it to be a little bit early.
Some are funny. Well, they're funny to us.
Yeah, other people probably won't find it funny.
Yeah. We're going to try and make it non-relatable to us as possible so people externally can laugh.
Yeah. We're new to this. We don't know what we're doing.
No.
So,
It could be
part of the fun, really.
It could just be us two, our parents, and like 2 friends that listen to it.
2 friends is a push.
Yeah. So what? We share friends. It could be 1 friend.
Yeah, true.
But yeah. Why are we doing this? Because we've touched on it a few times. But
Yeah.
Why are we doing it, Brad?
Well, we obviously explained the name.
Yep.
You know, we explained why we've called it what we have.
Mm-hmm.
But do you mean why us? Why us two?
Why us two?
Yeah.
Why do you feel like it's right to do a podcast? Why don't we just chat once a week?
Like I said before, I like the idea of a podcast because it's more for me in a sense. I like the fact that we're recording these conversations. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea that in the future, at some point, I could be like, oh, listen to a conversation with me and Nathan, we're 22.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
What do they find funny?
Yeah.
What's
Like-
going on in their lives?
Yeah. And thinking like, and you can almost then put yourself back in the mindset. Say like, if you're 60,
Yeah.
you can put yourself back in the mindset of where you were when you were recording that.
Yeah.
And I think that's really nice to be able to have that, you know, there in case I ever want to do that. That's one reason why I really like the idea of a podcast.
I think it's completely out of our depth. Not out of our...
It is. It's out of our comfort zone.
Yeah, it's way out of our comfort
We've never done anything like this.
No. We always touch on, as a friendship, we kind of push each other so well because we always are trying to thrive outside of our comfort zone.
Yeah. Like we had this thing last year where we did a road trip around Europe.
Episode to come.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that in an episode. And the whole thing we kept saying around that trip was to get outside of our comfort zone. We were meant to do skydiving, but you dislocated your knee.
The weather was bad.
Well, we weren't going to do it because the guy said you can't do it with a dislocated knee.
Yeah.
But the whole point was the whole trip we were kind of forcing ourselves to kind of just get out a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. And you guys are going to think we're crazy. But we did a cliff jump. That was like... I don't know. We calculated it as like 6 Peter Crouches high.
More than that, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know.
It was like 20 metres.
Well, we thought we were crazy.
It was high.
It was very high.
It did take me half an hour.
Yeah. It was very much of one of them moments where, I mean, Brad, don't get me wrong, but always telling me to come out of my comfort zone, but I was there for a good half an hour telling you to get out of your comfort zone.
You were.
Screaming at you, just
Yeah.
come on, Brad.
I did do it.
And you did it.
I did do it. And all the photos saw his thumb in the camera.
But hey, that's to come. But
Yeah.
no, it's this episode, this whole experience is going to be so out of our comfort zone. It's going to be brilliant, and we've got a lot.
It might not be brilliant.
It might
for
not be
them,
brilliant.
but hopefully brilliant for us, as at least.
And yeah, we've got so much to learn, so much to just experience, and not just podcasting, but just like discussing mental health and discussing our experiences,
The different aspects involved in life.
learning about other people's mental health as well.
Yeah.
Audience, feel free to comment comment in the comment section.
How's your mental health?
Yeah, send us a DM. No, but in all seriousness, it's like I'm intrigued on learning a lot more about it.
Yeah.
Learning about how to deal with not just my own mental health, but dealing with other people's experiences and not reacting in ways which might make them uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And just growing as a person and learning to kind of be a friend and somebody that can just be a good listener and take on the...
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also do have some people we'd like to bring on the podcast as well.
Yep.
So there's some other people's stories we would like to share. And just people we want you to meet, really.
Yeah. I mean, I a lot of people in this that we're talking about, I've not fully got to know their mental health. So it's going to be not just a learning curve for you, but also us.
The whole point, I guess, we kind of want this to be like a safe space for people to talk.
Yep.
And although it's filmed, yeah, it is. But, I don't know, it would just be nice that people can come here and feel like they can just be themselves and kind of talk about what's going on in their life and things like that.
Yeah.
And how they're experiencing things.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, where were we? We're going to try and upload this to as many like podcast platforms, audio platforms.
Yeah. Try and make it as available as possible.
Of course. But we are also obviously going to be doing this on YouTube.
Yep.
And that's where you're going to be able to find our video podcast. This is a video podcast if you are just listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
Typically podcasts are just to listen to in the car. I feel like that's like your stereotypical...
I feel like most people will listen through that.
Yeah, and I think that's totally valid, but I just want to say that maybe give it a go watching the podcast. Our faces might make more sense.
Maybe.
With our voices.
Maybe.
We're going to spend time trying to sync our video to our voice.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
So yeah, I just think, and when we have that 2 seconds of just silence, you realise that it's not us being awkward, it's me just forgetting my words. And
yeah, stumbling over your own tongue.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so give it a go if you're not giving it a go. Obviously you've not given it a go because it's not started yet. This is the first episode.
This is your waffling again.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I think it's just the highlight of what we were saying before is that this is a massive step out of our comfort zone. It's something which we are quite passionate about, is chatting. I feel like we are quite good at it.
Yeah, we talk a lot.
As blokes, I feel like we're both very good, and I feel like Brad is my person to speak to about shit going on.
Yeah, I feel like we don't really have that barrier. Like, there's nothing with you I feel like, I can't talk to him about that.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, I feel like kind of nothing's off limits.
No.
If I have anything to come to you with, I will just say it. I won't feel like, I can't bother with Nathan with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because not everyone has that.
No. But I guess, like, this is not a show-offy podcast, but
no, it's not.
It's also kind of like, it might be quite nice to find that person.
Yeah.
And...
because anyone will listen.
Yeah, 100%.
If someone really cares about you, they'll listen.
You know. And that's what I think I'm very lucky enough to... I'm not going to get really soppy, but it's like I'm lucky enough
first episode,
to have that in a friend, is that someone just that wants to listen and sometimes gives good advice back.
Sometimes.
50-50.
Oh, that's not fair.
Yeah. So yeah, what can we expect?
What can we expect? I think we can expect it not to be full seriousness.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want it to be a podcast where you switch off after 15 minutes because it's actually getting quite serious or whatever. We don't want that.
No.
We want it to be light-hearted but touches on the aspects that need to be spoken about, I think.
Mhm.
What from your point of view, what do you feel?
I feel the same. I don't want to come across boring. I feel like talking about similar stuff or like just talking about mental health the whole time can just sometimes you can switch off. I don't want to be that podcast that you don't want to listen to in the car because you're going to fall asleep.
Because ultimately we don't want to be a wellness podcast.
No.
That's not what we're here for.
No.
Like, You're not going to give out your nutritionist advice.
My class nutrition advice.
Well, you have a degree in it, so.
And you don't leave your electronic advice out either.
Well, if anyone wants it.
No, it's...
I think it's just important for us to kind of show who we are.
Yeah.
In that sense. You know,
100%.
our struggles.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to talk about things.
No, exactly, neither am I. And yeah, I hope we can just share the right message and spread the right message that chatting can be a good thing.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So, speaking of that, is there anything you want to touch on in this episode?
On a deep level?
Just in general. Like, this is the introduction. Is there anything you feel you want to talk about on this segment of the podcast?
I guess what makes us quite special. We're very similar people, very similar mindset of what we've talked about.
But I also think we're very different people.
We're very different people. We're very different mentally. I think...
That's just contradicted exactly what you just said.
No, it's not.
You said we're both very similar people with similar mindsets, and then you went, we're different people with different mindsets.
What I mean is that we have a very similar attitudes towards life. And
Yes.
that's right to say.
No, that is right.
We both want to explore in our 20s. We both want to talk in our lives, and we both want to share the right experiences with our friends.
Yeah.
And
We're both very socially driven.
yeah, 100%. And it doesn't always involve a club. In fact, it never involves a club anymore.
No, we haven't been clubbing in
We're so
8 or 9
mature.
months.
I mean, what the heck?
I kind of love it.
Yeah, but
You know, we'll go to a pub, but we
come
won't.
across like a snob. Because there's a time and a place, don't get me wrong. And like,
Yeah.
but not now. Maybe in the future. But
And once in a blue moon.
yeah.
Not every weekend.
What I was going to say, so we're very similar outtakes on life,
Yeah.
but our mental beings are very different.
We both function very differently.
That's the word I was looking for. We function very differently. I want to touch on is how me personally am someone that struggles to process my own thoughts.
You tend to switch off.
I tend to switch
You
off.
kind of compartmentalize and kind of just put it to the back. And just...
I'm very quick to put it to the back of my head, and it's not by choice. I don't always choose to do this, and I think that's one of my biggest problems is that issues which are happening or do occur in my life, i.e. a dissertation, I can just put to the back of my mind because I can do something fun instead. I can think about something fun. I can listen to something fun and just be so switched off by it, and I can find so much enjoyment, and that thing is never normally in my mind because that's why I love sport. I mean, we talk about it later, but like I can just switch off for that period, have the most amazing time in the moment and live in that moment.
Yeah.
Kind
of forget everything else that's going on.
And I worryingly can just forget about everything, and like we'll touch on it way more. But I mean, I'm not trying to speak for you, Brad, but that is the complete opposite to you.
Oh, it is complete opposite to me. I tend to be someone that will get lost in my own thoughts. So I will have a thought and tend to spiral because of it, which is the complete opposite and also not a very good thing. I struggle to control my own thoughts, so you know, it can affect me for days because I can't understand a way to process it in that sense because I just constantly think about it and get obsessed.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing. And it's things I'm working on.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, we're very different in that sense. But I wouldn't say either of us deal with it correctly.
No, I'd agree with that. And that's something which is going to come up again. It's going to talking about this now makes me more aware of it. And I think outside of the podcast and outside of these chats, we are due way more chats to talk about these kind of things and deal with it on this kind of level as opposed to dealing it with ourselves. And that for you would be spiraling and doing it yourself. And for me, it's just forgetting about it and sticking on an amazing album and just monging out to it.
Now, you say monging out.
I say monging out, but I'm smiling, I'm dancing, I'm singing. And
Yeah.
like it's not there.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's right, and I don't think that's normal.
But we're both very similar where music's our relief.
Yeah.
You know,
We've seemed to talk a lot about how we're so different, but
fundamentally,
very similar.
we have a lot of shared processes and interests, I guess.
Yeah.
We deal with things in similar ways. Like, we both use music as a relief, kind of.
100%.
If we've had a bad day, we'll play some music that we know will cheer us up.
Yeah. Which can lead me to my next point, because we've done a lot of waffling. It's our first episode.
Yep.
Moving on swiftly, is that music is something we're very passionate about, and it's something which we have a lot in common with. And I feel like in terms of music taste, we're also very similar.
We are.
And we could talk for hours about like incredible music.
Yeah.
And the varied music that we have. But we are going to introduce a segment that is Nate's Vinyl of the Week.
If you don't know, Nathan likes vinyls.
I love my vinyls.
He's that kind of guy.
I love just putting on a vinyl, chilling out. That's my kind of like proper downtime.
Is it because it sounds better than streaming it?
Sometimes it does. But I just feel like you can chill with the vinyl. You don't have to be occupied with anything else. You don't have to sit on your phone. You can just chill out with the vinyl.
I like it.
And therefore, we're going to have Nate's Vinyl of the Week. We're going to display it nicely. And that Vinyl of the Week...
It will be somewhere around the blank wall.
That vinyl is something... It's hopefully an album that we're going to be both absolutely in love with.
Give it our reviews.
Give it our reviews, and we're going to hopefully give you the best song on the album / songs, the worst song on the album, and why that album is...
And also why we picked that album.
Yeah. You know? Totally. Because I've got one stuck on my mind that you're going to have to wait till the first serious episode.
Yeah.
I've got one sticking, and I'm sure it's sticking in yours as well, but like it's just the album which we managed to share together, which is just probably like 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for the next episode to find what that one is.
Yeah.
So we're going to like intertwine little things like that. We're going to have like different segments that are going to break up the chats and the monotone voices maybe.
I don't think we're monotone.
I know. I don't know how to like funk up a podcast.
That's what we're going to learn.
That's what we're going to
That's
learn.
the whole point of this thing. We don't know what we're doing.
I'm
sure if you go back to, Joe Rogan's first episode, he was probably a bit shit.
Yeah.
So
We've got other segments. We're going to experiment at Guess Who.
Are we saying all of our segments now?
No, let's just cut that one out. But yeah, I mean, the Nave's Vinyl of the Week is one of few segments which we're going to introduce.
Yep.
And I mean, friends, family, randomers that are listening, we would love to hear
Any suggestions, really?
any suggestions. Star of the Week is a suggestion I heard.
Star of the week.
Yeah. So that's about picking someone in our lives that week that have earned Star of the Week, like in primary school. Because I can't lie. Did you ever get Star of the Week at primary school?
Yeah, Hawthorns.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to have to walk up in the assembly and collect our award. It was a head teacher's award, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that award was like...
You were the GOAT.
You were the GOAT if you got that award.
And it was written like what you did.
Yeah.
And, everyone wanted to win.
Brad spelled like cat right that week. Because
me in my special classroom because
Brad's special class.
Severe dyslexia.
But yeah, maybe like I heard that suggestion, and then hopefully they can earn that prize. Maybe it's like one of the 15 listeners that we have, and they could be like, "Oh my god, I got Star of the Week." Maybe.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
So I mean, yeah, anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I think we've got a lot of good things coming, and stay with us. We will be getting better.
Yeah, 100%. We might be talking way too close to the mic. We might be talking way too far back.
These mics might be really bad. We don't know yet.
So please forgive us. Another thing as well, this backdrop, this whole thing, it seems like it's lovely. It's shout out Brad. It's Brad's pad.
It is my pad.
And Brad converted this whole thing.
I hate that name.
The Brad pad.
That everyone calls it the Brad pad. I absolutely hate that. I don't know why. I just don't like it.
That's probably why it's stuck.
It could be. I feel like my parents started it and then
it
kind of just stuck.
But it's stunning. We might give a room tour. Oh, that's a bit...
No,
can't put that
we're
on
not
the
going to do a room
podcast.
tour, no.
Stupid idea.
No.
But yeah, it's not bland. It's gorgeous. But
This is going to be our display wall. So
for now.
when we find things, it will be updated and...
Yeah, so we're going to hopefully update things. We're going to add things to our lovely stall.
Yeah.
New candle every week. No, I can't promise that.
No, we probably won't be adding a new candle every week.
But yeah, we're going
I
to...
feel like if we find things that are meaningful or whatever, we could find space on a wall for them.
Whack it on.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming with every episode.
Yeah. So one thing, we have obviously prepared a few notes
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't really know what to talk about. It's part of our brainstorming kind of session.
Yep.
For this episode, there was one thing we said we were going to touch on, wasn't there? It was the whole, so why are we friends kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
And I feel like this could be an introduction, kind of, a little bit more about who we are.
Shall we? This is not even in the notes, but shall we like try and explain each other?
Okay.
Try and like, do you see?
Are we like in a certain amount of words, or just
Oh, maybe.
like should we do like 3 words to best describe each other?
Oh no, because maybe that I reckon I have to think about that way too much. And then even if I look back on it, I think
Is that because there's so many words to describe me?
it's so little words.
Well, that kind of played off worse. Than I thought.
But no, I reckon for now we could just try and explain each other to the best of our ability.
Go ahead, you start.
Oh my god, shit idea. Who suggested this? So this is Brad. This is the co-host.
Why'd you say it in that accent?
Co-host.
The co-host.
Are
we talking Nixon the whole time?
We're not going to do any accents for you.
I will be doing accents at certain points.
Brad is one of the funniest, kindest, intelligent in his own way.
I'm not thick.
No, you're not thick. You're very intelligent, but not like a book smart.
No, I wouldn't say I'm book smart.
But I mean, if you've got
I feel like I know a lot of random shit.
yeah, if you've got an issue with pretty much anything in life, the go-to is Brad, and I feel like that is the same for most people that have Brad in his phone book. And yeah, not just that doesn't make him an incredible friend in that way. He's an incredible friend in so many other ways that we'll learn together. That sounds so cringy.
No,
Not me and you learn together, but like we will find out.
Okay.
How much of a great person Brad is. He's a great listener. He's just a great talker. You give good advice. You give the advice when you want advice, and then sometimes when you don't want advice and you just want a rant, and you're good at just hearing it out. Brad was never a sporty one at school.
No, definitely not.
And don't get me wrong, he loves his sport. He loves football. He'll watch most sports.
I'll beat you at tennis.
He thinks he's good at tennis.
I'm better than you at tennis.
But he was never like the sporty kid, but I
No.
wouldn't say that makes him an unsporty guy. Because you can run, you're fit, athletically.
I can walk.
Just to clarify. You can walk, and you can play 5-a-side sometimes.
On my day.
On his day. You can not score an own goal, maybe. But yeah, I think that's it for the 2 minutes of Brad.
Okay, so now 2 minutes of Nath.
Yeah.
Nathan James, everyone.
The
other co-host.
The co-host.
The co-host. Oh, we said no accents.
Oh.
I'll try and do it in a way that, because I feel like I could describe you in similar words, if I'm being honest. But
Apart from your sporty bit.
well, yeah, obviously, Mr. Iron Man.
Joking.
over there.
I'm joking.
I feel you're probably the most emotionally intelligent person I know when it comes to dealing with other people's emotions. I find you're very good at reading how people are. You can read a room quite well. You know? At least I know from being with you, you tend to be very aware of how people are reacting in situations. And I think you're very good at that. And that's one thing I think is very good about you. That you can understand if someone's upset and you know how to deal with that person being upset. Even if you don't necessarily know them, you can kind of just gauge how to deal with that person. And I think that's very good. You're very emotionally intelligent in that sense. I feel like you're more emotionally intelligent with other people than you are with yourself.
Ooh, deep point.
I think so. You
But
can
I think
argue.
I think it's valid.
I think you can deal with other people's emotions more than you can deal with your own. But that's another topic.
Yeah.
And following on from that, obviously you are an incredibly sporty guy. You are one of the most fit athletically guys that I know. You know, like to do a 50k bike ride before you play football. Fucking bizarre.
Thanks, I guess.
But I think one of the key things about you is just how good you are at listening to people as well. You're incredibly caring, and you're able, like, even if you're not feeling in the mood for something, you'll still make time to make sure someone else is okay, which kind of falls into that emotional intelligence kind of thing. But most of the time, even if you're tired or whatever, you don't want to talk about it, you will still kind of prioritize someone else.
Yeah.
In that sense, like, you are a people pleaser.
I was going to mention that.
You are a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I feel like we both are people pleasers, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to be.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like it's always a good thing.
No.
But I think you are very much a people pleaser. I don't really know where to go because I feel like there's so much that I could say, and I feel like I'm put on the spot a little.
No, that's totally fair enough. But I think it's quite like we are both, like you said, Matt, you mentioned about people pleasing. It's something which is like very interesting because up until about a year ago, that like I kind of saw nothing else than pleasing other people. I thought I just think I get a lot of pleasure from helping someone, emotionally or physically. Like if I've helped an old lady pick up her shopping, or like gave her my seat at the train station, I just feel like such a nice guy, and that kind of like, but that lifts me up for a certain amount of time. That I kind of I thrive off that a bit, and subsequently I'd much rather look out for somebody else than potentially look after myself.
Yeah.
Which
is good in moments.
It's good in moments, and I feel like in the moment, in the short time, it is good.
Yeah. And like for me personally, it's great because whenever I need you, you're always there.
Yeah.
And that's something that is, truly valuable in a friend like you, is that I don't think there is a moment where I've had a problem and you've said to me, "Oh, not right now," which I think is very commendable. Because there's been a lot of times where it's been 1 a.m. and I've texted you saying, "Oh, I'm in a bit of a state because of this," and you literally within 5 seconds you're calling me.
Yeah.
And that is something that stands out to me because I think you're very dependable. And I think that's very important.
Thanks. I think that kind of can be echoed. We're both very dependable on each other, and that's a very nice friend to have. He's somebody that you can depend on, and I think, it's nice hearing it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course. Boost your ego a little bit.
Boost my ego. I mean, I'm gonna really, really try and not come across egotistical because I'm really not. But
you do come across. You have a huge ego most of the time.
I've got this thing, and I don't know if to touch on it now or in the future, but I've got this thing about my ego, which I do have a big ego, but I have a bigger ego up here, for me, and like, I mean, I've watched Last Dance, and it's like with Michael Jordan, you've got to be believing you are the best. You got to believe in yourself so much to achieve so much. Yeah. And there's a certain point, obviously, that all these great sports people, all these great business people that have that mentality so much that they lose everything around them. I do not want that.
No.
I value life way more than achieving a sporting achievement or becoming a successful billionaire. There's way more to life than that. And I think maintaining friendships and relationships, they're what stand out. But to a certain extent, I do have an ego, but
you're just a very motivated person.
I am, and my personality does usher that out of me sometimes, and I can come across egotistical, and I hope it's not in a cocky way. I hope it's in a humble way sometimes. But when I'm with my close friends, yeah, I can be quite cocky, but hopefully in a funny way. That's the way I intend.
Most of the time.
Some of the time. Like last night, I scored this
God.
screamer at 6-a-side, and this is the last day I'm talking about it. We made that agreement. I made the
We're
agreement.
going to hear it in 3 weeks' time.
No
I
way.
just know we are.
We're not, because I made the deal with everyone that this is the last day I'm going to talk about it. But it was a screamer.
It was a banger, to be fair. It was
And
good. Yeah, little pink. Do you want to describe it?
Yeah, go on then.
Of course you do. Ego.
So it's probably about, what? I was about 30 yards away from the goal.
15. It's
20 yards.
It's 6-a-side. I don't even think the pitch is 30 yards.
I felt like I was miles away from the goal. And I was ushering this defender.
On the left wing.
On the left wing. Ushering it to my chest. Yeah, ping it here, ping it here. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a peach of a ball.
It was
straight
absolute.
Straight onto the chest. Touchdown. One bounce, and it just lines up perfectly. Swung on the half volley. I mean, I'd love to get up and demonstrate, but swung on the half volley. Top bins. I mean, I hope the 6 lads that we played are listening to this, and they understand it's me, because that was me. Gave it the Alan Shearer.
Yeah, you did.
Ran
Down the other end of the pitch.
to the subs, where Brad was.
Yeah, I was a sub at that point.
And yeah, gave it the big un. I didn't give it the big un. No, I actually didn't. I just gave it the Alan Shearer. A few high fives.
Ran a little bit. A little bit of a...
That was some fun on the podcast. And then, yeah. So, yeah, I guess that they didn't hear about that. They did hear about that last night, as well as seeing it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say I'm a cocky person.
No, you're not cocky.
No.
But you do just have a bit of an inflated ego sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think that's just because we're friends that you just come across like that.
Mm.
Not in a cocky way. I think you do it more in a funny way.
Yeah. But I can't lie, in my head I am quite cocky.
Oh,
I'm
all know
egotistical
that.
in my head.
You always have been though.
Yeah.
You've always whenever you played rugby and things like that, you always expect the best out of you.
Yeah.
Which I find sometimes can come at your own sacrifice a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you'll play a game and if you don't play very well, you come off and you're pissed at yourself.
You don't want to talk to me, really.
Like golf.
Oh, that's...
Golf, you're the worst at, I can't lie.
No, I'm the best at golf.
No, not bad. Not bad ability-wise, but you lose your head so easily.
Yeah. I just have this expectation of what I know I can do.
Yeah.
And it's like any sport. When you don't meet those expectations, because nobody can all the time, then it's the most frustrating thing. And unfortunately, golf, you notice that a lot. When you play badly, or when you have a slight...
I only ever play badly at golf.
But you know it, and yeah, rugby you can make up for it. Golf you can, but it's not as easy.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating.
Yeah. But if we were speaking of screamers in football...
Go on then.
LBY that we did last year.
Yeah. Go on then, Brad.
So...
Tell the story.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if everyone knows the kickoff glitch in FIFA, like 14, was it?
Yeah.
Where you'd pass it back one row, and then you would just ping it forwards.
Yeah.
And the striker would just run.
Yeah.
So it was kickoff at the beginning of a game, and Nathan just turns to me and goes, LBY, and I was like, all right, we'll try it.
Like pro clubs.
Yeah, kickoff straight to me. He just legs it. It was actually a peach of a ball, I can't lie.
Yeah, best thing you've ever done.
Probably was.
In football, not in life.
Maybe in life.
Maybe.
It was an absolute peacher. Pinged it over and you just tuck it away with your head.
Yeah, just one of them.
That was also a Shearer. you ran the pitch on that one.
That was... Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, you were doing that.
Yeah. No, that was probably top 5 life's moments.
That was just fucking hilarious.
It was great.
It was so
funny.
And even the other team were just like, what?
Yeah, I mean, they applauded us.
Yeah, they did. Standing ovation, man.
Yeah. But no, I mean, we've got friends we can bring on. We'll talk about five-a-side. We've got one enthusiastic five-a-side player who loves his five-a-side. Well, loves football and loves to win at football.
Yeah. Very much the winning part.
We have a very similar mindset in five-a-side. It's five-a-side. Have fun.
That's the thing. I play for a laugh and just to see people.
Yeah.
Like, get an excuse to see the boys.
Yeah.
Whereas some people...
Yeah. If you don't pass,
if you don't win,
feet, yeah, or win, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But we can have them on. We can have their views. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I guess we can't judge because this is supposed to be like an open.
No, we don't judge anyone. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
But
five-a-side's fun.
five-a-side, I love five-a-side. It's great fun.
Yeah.
And we're in a league of tryhards.
We're in a league of tryhards this time.
Whereas before we were in a league full of people that were just like having a piss about.
Yeah.
But now we're in a league of tryhards, and it is difficult.
Yeah.
Considering like the other team's subs are shouting out tactics, and we're literally just literally clapping, and that's about it. We don't really say anything from the sidelines.
Give it a few woos.
Yeah. Go Nath.
Last thing I want to talk about that football and football for this episode is if you have seen the Peter Crouch goal against Man City, or you haven't, look it on YouTube. Then that's the goal I scored.
Yeah, it was a little bit as well, like a James Rodriguez.
Maybe more that one.
Like 2014.
Type into YouTube after you've watched this.
Where the player pings it over, he chests it, bangs it in the.
That's it actually. Yeah, watch that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brad. Yeah.
How have you found it?
I've loved it.
Yeah.
Can't lie, I was bloody nervous at the start.
I could tell.
And you were so composed.
I feel like I'm quite good at public speaking.
But I thought I was good at public speaking. Okay. I was going to say that, like, when we go out for dinner as a group of lads, or when we're booking something, or I take the lead.
You don't let anyone else take the lead?
No.
Yes, you were about to agree with me there.
No, I don't. It's like, alright, okay.
But Nathan is also that guy where he pays exactly for what he bought.
No, okay, that's untrue. I've completely changed. We're not coming across like this Nath guy is somebody who... No, there was that one time we had dinner and that's it.
There's more than once.
3 or 5 years ago.
No, it's when I think it was when you were at uni.
I'm so over it now.
Okay, good. Because that's an egg.
Yeah. We're not doing eggs.
We're not talking about eggs.
No.
Because that was an egg. Anyway, sorry.
What was your point? Me. I'm the guy on that holiday at that restaurant that will look after your key, that will talk to the waitress or waiter. Do you know what I mean? I'm like the confrontational one or the responsible one.
I don't know if I agree with this.
Like, if we're going on a night out in Spain, for example, which we've done, I will take the car keys.
Yeah.
I will take the house keys. And like, or I'll take the room key of a hotel because who's trusted Nath to look after it?
But I also feel like you lose a lot of things.
No. I don't know where I'm going with it. What were we?
I don't know, where were you going with it? You just started.
You said, how have you found it? Public speaking.
Yeah.
Like.
And you, for some reason, twitched that to a restaurant.
No, I've not, because like confrontational and like public speaking, I'm actually so sound with, but sitting in front of a camera is a bit like, whoa.
See, I treat it the same as if I was standing in front of people pitching or something like that.
What is our goal at the podcast? Final thing. Go on. Wait, what
I feel like you didn't finish the point you were talking about.
No. How have we found it? Yeah, I found it good. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Then how did you get onto the whole dependable and trusting yourself with the hotel key?
Because I'm not bad in public speaking.
Oh, okay.
I'm not usually.
I don't know how they correlate. But...
usually get nervous when it comes to confrontation or public speaking.
No.
Anything like that. I'm usually perfectly sound, but I was nervous. I'm like my heart rate now, chilling.
Chill.
So chill.
Ultra.
Facts. Yeah, how did you find it?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Excited?
I'm excited for what's to come, if I'm honest. I do really like the idea of just us sitting down and talking.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. And like I've said, I do enjoy public speaking.
Yep.
And I feel like this almost gives me a form of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that almost gives me a little bit of a rush, I guess.
Yeah.
I quite enjoy that. I like the feeling, like the anxiety and like nerves that you get before you're about to like pitch to someone or like stand up in front of 100 people.
Or like we're going to get when we're about to post this.
Yeah,
When we first post this, it's
Yeah.
going to be like, oh my God, what are we doing?
it is.
But like, this is going to be cool.
But I don't know what, I like that feeling.
That's good.
I don't like the feeling of anxiety, but I like that feeling.
I love the feeling of like anxiety. No.
No, more like the butterflies, not anxiety.
No.
Yeah, no, I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it.
100%.
There was one more thing you wanted to add.
Yeah.
So, I know it's only the first episode. Anything you've learnt?
I've learnt to just... No, nothing I've learnt, really.
Sweet.
No, I don't know. I feel
How to
like...
hold a microphone?
No, I feel like I'm floating with the microphone, to be fair. I haven't thought about it much. I in the back of my mind now, over this last hour, I've kind of been like, am I being too boring? Is somebody just going to switch off? Which isn't actually important, because it's not about anybody else.
No.
But that's something which I just need to kind of like push back, because I feel like when I have that like second pause of trying to get my words out my mouth, I'm stumbling and then thinking, oh my God, this is like a second of quietness, and then I just need to get that out of my head, because it's not about anybody else. No offense, I mean, I'd love to hear your opinion, and it is about other people, don't get me wrong, but I think it'd be more valuable when I'm just ignore that.
It's more something we want to be proud of.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like, anyway.
So I feel like I'm currently doing it a lot, like based on what people think.
Yeah.
Which it's not actually very unlike me, to be fair. It is very unlike me. Yeah.
You don't normally act like that.
No, because I am the guy that
You're always in your own zone, kind of thing.
Yeah, or like, I was gonna say earlier actually, about when you were saying how I'm good at reading a room, is that, like, I'm very quick to assess somebody's thoughts within themselves, like whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, but most of the time, like Brad said, it's normally quite good if I say so myself. But I also create a judgment of what people think of me very quickly,
Yeah.
which isn't always the good thing. But I also have the mindset of, I actually sometimes don't really care what other people think of me. I feel like I'm actually really good at, obviously, reading the room, reading people's emotions,
You are.
and like you mentioned, but I'm also very good at, not very good, but I'm also good at judging what people judge of me. So when somebody comes into a room, I think a first impression is always good. And if I don't make a good first impression for whatever reason, like I've given the polar bear pickup line
Wrong.
and somebody's taken it wrong, or say, for example, that I've not introduced myself formally or not introduced somebody else, then I can come across like something, then I'm going to think about that, and I'm going to constantly worry about what their thoughts are of me.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I've got very much of an attitude of, it doesn't matter what other people think. I will excuse that with some people. Like, of course, I think of what some people may think of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just natural. I think like people that are important in my life, or like it's in a detrimental situation. But on the whole, general public, I don't really care what people think of me. Yeah, I think
that's good.
I mean,
that's
like,
a good way to be.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I've got one like vivid picture of my head in when we as lads went to Manchester, and it's like there was these two drunken busking people, and it was like there's one idiot who's dancing in front of these people and looking like a right tit, and that was me.
Yeah.
But I don't care. And like some of you lads were like, oh, this is so embarrassing, I'm not with this guy, and it's like, this is actually funny. Brilliant, and it's funny.
It's funny.
And I'm not doing it. I'm just being weird and just having fun. I think that's
part of life.
Part of life, exactly. Because I don't want to have to be head in phone like, oh, this is so embarrassing. Who's this guy? And like, I mean, I'm not in that particular situation, but I could have made someone's day. I will do something to try and make someone's day.
Yeah.
In that situation, if I look like a tit for it, then so what?
It's a good way to be.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from.
That's the whole point of the podcast. It's just
because
get lost in a tangent.
Get lost in a tangent, 100%. But so yeah, I don't normally care what other people think, but I just think having the camera there, it's like whoa. But I don't know, 20 minutes in, it's like
switch off.
I'm cool. Switch off.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've done well.
100%.
I think we've done well, and I guess I'm really looking forward to what we've got coming in the future.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it, and
I know what I was going to say.
What were you gonna
I'm
say?
really sorry. That was like, everyone's like, yes, they're about to close the podcast. No, Nave's got another 5 minutes of talking.
okay, what's your 5 minutes talking of?
Quick side note, just saying that. Again, side note of a side note.
Yeah.
I would love to see like a percentage, because I think you've spoken so much. Not that you've taken over, but now that I'm thinking, oh, have I taken over?
I think it's been pretty even. I think it's been pretty even.
Yeah. I'd love to see what other people think. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Nath, just can you let Brad talk? Or vice versa. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No, I think it's been pretty even though.
yeah, I think it's been really good.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is that me and Brad and a few of our friends are going camping this weekend.
We are?
The idea is to have this trimmed, available to us, and we're going to drive up to the campsite and listen to it
Yeah.
and judge it and
And see what we think.
see
of
what
it.
we think as a podcast.
See where we can improve,
Yeah,
and
see if we get bored.
see if we get bored.
I don't think we will.
See if we can actually manage to listen to our own voices.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen. I think that'd
No,
be
I
tough.
think that's going to be what we're going to be cringing at.
But no, I think that's exciting. I just wanted to share that piece of information that obviously we're camping and like it's going to be another time to kind of ponder what we've got to come.
Think of some more ideas.
Think of some more ideas. Expand our massive notes section.
Yeah. I really like it. I really like it. And I mean, I know I'm afraid that we might be running a little long here. I don't know.
We could be 20 minutes in.
We could. Who knows? I think I really like camping because it's like I never take my phone when we go camping,
No.
and I find it's a really nice way for us to switch off.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like that's going to give us time to really think about things that we can talk about. You know,
Yeah. Should we bring the microphones? Campfire chat.
we could do that.
Yeah. But we don't have a laptop.
I've got my laptop.
Yeah.
You can bring your laptop.
True. It's doable.
It is doable. We could do it.
Yeah. And I like, well, again, we'll talk about this way more in the future.
But I mean, even if me and you just sat at a campfire, just talking, we don't have to record it.
No,
We
yeah,
can
that's
just-
very true. Get
that's-
away from the mic, Nath.
No, but no,
Live a little.
obviously we want to record these things, but I mean, we can just talk about the podcast, talk about things we want to talk about, and things
Yeah.
like that. It's not necessarily. Plus, if we start recording and TJ and Alex are around us, like,
Yeah.
they're going to be like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
And we're going to have them talking over us when we're trying to talk into a microphone.
That'd just be chaos.
Because you know Alex is just going to keep making noises.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
that's our weekend coming up.
Uh-huh. Exciting stuff.
Exciting. So hopefully we'll be coming to you soon with this episode and the following episodes. We're aiming to put one out a week.
Whoa,
That was what we said.
That's a statement.
That was
Yeah,
what we
I
said.
really hope so.
That was what we initially wanted to aim to do. We're not obviously not sure on the date or anything like that yet, but our aim was to deliver an episode a week,
100%.
which I'd be quite proud if we can do that.
Yeah, 100%. And James Williamson, GOAT, only... I'm going to come back with you that stat next week, but only
Yeah.
like... Only 10% of podcasts make it past episode 3. Only 1% of that 10% make it past episode 10. So if we
So-
get past 10 episodes, then we're in the top 1% podcasts. Not even...
No, that maths is wrong.
That is so wrong, but take it as you wish, because...
It's 1% of 10%.
Yeah, 0.1%. Oh my god, it could be.
Anyway, I think we should close it off here. So, if you've made it this far,
0.1% of the
if
podcast.
you've made it this far, we are very appreciative.
Yeah,
I mean, it could only be 5 minutes in. We don't know.
it could be. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening. And
How do we sign off?
I mean, we haven't got a catchphrase yet. Stay off the path.
Stay off the path, shall we? Yeah,
Should we just be like, yeah, stay off the path?
because off the path is boring. No, not boring.
The whole point is we're off the path. It's not boring.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Stay off the path.
Off the path. Oh.